Hey guys, this is Greg with Medical Muscle. In this video, I want to talk about an addiction that I've had for a long time that has affected my life negatively, has caused me a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and I think it's quite common. It's recently been on the news and it affects a lot of people, and that's an addiction to social media. For me, it's negatively affected my sleep. You know, if I start death scrolling late at night, that light and the stimulation from the content that I'm looking at just keeps me up. So I have less sleep, then I'm not as productive the next day. Then, if I decide to do social media during the day, I'm not getting the things done that I need to do. I have a pretty busy schedule, and to waste hours, I'm not joking, it's a real addiction. I don't just spend a few hours, it's like 3 hours, easy. Okay, and I know people sometimes do even more. So in this video, I want to talk about how I've mitigated this very addictive activity. You know, ways that you can protect yourself, because I think it's going to become a growing problem as more and more people are growing up with cell phones, right? Young kids growing up into this thing. So while in undergrad, I had my personal training business, and I was quite busy. I was doing school full-time and working full-time. So I didn't really have that much free time, and I knew that all the free time that I had to be dedicated to studying because I wanted to get into medical school. So I was very adamant about not downloading any social media. I had no Instagram, no Facebook, no TikTok wasn't a thing at that time, but no YouTube, because I knew how addictive it was for me. And I did quite well, I gotta say. Now, when I started medical school, things changed a little bit. It was during the first year of the pandemic. I had a lot more free time. I wasn't working. And medical school, you know, it's tough, but it doesn't require as many hours of the day as I was before getting into medical school. So during the first year, I started to pick up the addiction again. I was on YouTube quite a bit. And I was able to do this because, you know, the year one of medical school is not a huge challenge. It's not a huge time commitment compared to year 2 and year 3, where things become more intense. So I could kind of get away with it. But I learned very quickly at the beginning of year 2 and term 4 and 5, that I couldn't balance it. I was finding that I was on social media too much. I was checking it in between my study blocks, right? I'd study for maybe 5 minutes and then check Instagram, or I'd study for another 10 minutes, maybe go on YouTube for a little bit. I just couldn't control myself. I had to make this realization that I needed to cut it out of my life. What did I do? I deleted these apps. I blocked my ability to access these things on my computer. There's apps that you can get, there's a whole bunch. And it made a huge difference to my productivity. It allowed me to really kick butt when things got really tough. And in year 3, when I was studying for step 2, I did the exact same thing. Social media can be a big hindrance to many students, not just medical students. And to be honest, probably a hindrance in life as well. Because if you're on social media for whatever, an hour, 2 hours, that's taking time away from things that you might actually like to do or need to do. You know, I've just found that when I have a little bit of anxiety, I'll just, in my mind, I think, okay, I'm just gonna look at social media for just a second. And then an hour and a half goes by, 2 hours. And then I become anxious. I become depressed and anxious because I never end up doing the thing that I need to do. But now, because I'm so anxious and upset that I didn't do this thing, and my dopamine levels have been so peaked and now they're being overstimulated, that I can't get off of it. And then it continues for another hour. And then it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I have reduced sleep and I'm not productive the next day. It's a horrible cycle. I'm just being honest. This affects me, and it probably affects a lot of people. And I feel like if you can control your addictions, your success is limitless. You can really do anything in life. For a lot of people, there's all types, right? Nicotine, alcohol, social media, obviously, gambling, all these things can take up a big amount of your time. And all that time that's focused on those things take away from what really makes you happy, what really makes you a better version of yourself. So I just wanted you guys to know that even someone like me who did very well in school still struggles with this, and it's common. If you can identify it and you can create these barriers so that you can't access it so easily, like by simply deleting the apps while you're in your study blocks, or blocking it on your phone, then you'll benefit from the focus. Obviously, you can download these things again if you really want to, okay? You don't have to delete the account, just delete the app, just so you can't access it. All right, guys. Well, I wish that you have incredible focus and get everything done that you need to get done.